Welcome right back to A&M in the AM, episode 57. I'm back here with Mort. How you doing, Mort?
It's okay. It's
I
only
would
been
say,
a day.
yeah, it's only been a day. We're Quentin-less today, but I feel like, honestly, we should have Quentin on more. I feel like
I'm
I
all
like
for
him.
it. He
I'm
he's
all
he's
for
a view bot.
He's a, he is a new bot. But, I mean, other than it being a day, how you doing?
It's always a
Anything
good time with
exciting happening?
Quentin. Oh no, nothing ever usually exciting.
And say right now your Suns are playing. We're doing this during halftime,
hmm
and Tigers are going on playing your other favorite team, the Astros. It's a I shouldn't the sentences that just came out of my mouth, like I don't that
What's
hurts
wrong with
saying
them?
your Suns are on
Yeah,
while the Detroit Tigers are playing your Houston Astros, or three
yeah,
different states. But
yeah. What's wrong with it?
let's just hop right into that. The Tigers, they're on, and like you said last night when I said the record, they're what,
hmm
32 and 42. They're
Yeah, something like
really close to 500. Have
that.
one
Way
of the
closer
best
than I
hitters in
thought.
baseball right now, Jonathan Scope. Um,
hmm
their hitting is looking, other than tonight, their hitting is looking very good, and uh, they're performing well. And they probably have one of the easiest months in baseball coming up in July.
And they'll still manage to mess it up though.
I think all their opponents, that we only play like two or three teams, but all their opponents are under 500, except the White Sox. I think we play the White Sox twice,
But
or have two series
say
against
they
them.
have
But
like another winning month somehow in July,
yeah,
it means nothing because after that little streak of lower tier teams, then Scope's gone and there's your offense.
well, but
Because Scope would be traded right after that towards the end of
here's
the
where
month. So
I look at it though. Like, so say, and I've said to myself, I mean, I know this isn't gonna happen. This is a dream scenario. Say we go 18-5 in July. That's a big ask, you know.
yeah,
But
it is.
that puts us at 53 and 47 roughly. I think 53, yeah, 53 and 47 if we go 18-5 in the month of July.
hmm
Well, we still have a couple games here at the end, so it will be around 50 wins and around 50 losses
Yeah,
if we have that 18-5.
it's not close enough to keep him at all.
But still, okay, you don't think that's close? You think we still sell him?
Yeah, just because of who's in charge, and you already know you're probably not gonna get him back. You some still don't want him in your future plans after everything he's shown over the past 2 years, but I think they'll still try to get whatever they can, no
And
matter regardless of what the team's doing. So,
that
and
was
then
going to be my next
it
question.
just
What do you
opens
think
up
we get?
another spot for another guy. So, like one of the younger ones, get brings
Who do,
Paredes back and stuff.
who do you think we get for Scope? That's I guess that's the next question. Do we? So, okay, so say we're above 500 team after July,
hmm
just by chance, totally hypothetical, but we still decide to trade Scope. Do you think we get another guy that can be at the big league level, but is like a step down from Scope, and then we get a couple prospects,
I
obviously?
think probably like another expiring guy, if not like a guy that's on another 1 year deal, like after into next year. That's probably at the
Okay.
major league level. Um, that's probably like making some money, I would say. And I would I would think for sure like a top 15 prospect in somebody's system.
Okay. Um, I'm looking this up right now, and I know you suggested this team, and I don't obviously don't. It kind of hurt, but how about Jerkson Profar with maybe one of their prospects?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to get prospects because then there's no reason to have Jerks and Profar.
No, but you said a guy that's on an expiring
Yeah,
contract.
yeah,
He's
it's
older.
like yeah, like an idea like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, he's an older guy. He's on an expiring contract. If we're above 500, he can start for us still. He can play the outfield also, which we don't need, but he can play
He could
second base if
honestly, it
we
could
need.
honestly be like a type of thing like that, to where he just gets waived or whatever to go to a better team anyway, and they just kind of get the prospect
Yeah,
out.
CJ Abrams, just saying. Um,
Hey, they're not gonna need him now with Tatis and Cronenworth and Kim, and if they get Scope, so he's not really gonna see the light of day.
Honestly,
They
I
do
didn't
have
even.
I think it's them that has Marsupio or Marcelio Dupont or something like Dubon,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
who's
No,
also
but
a middle
I didn't
infielder.
even.
But
I truly did not even. And they have Machado, so it's not like he could change positions.
yeah,
Oh,
none of the infield guys. There's three of them. There's that Dubon, and then who did you said C.J. Abrams,
CJ Abrams. He's down in
and
Double A right now.
there's another one I think that are all pretty good. I think we saw that third one play at shortstop in spring training. I'm pretty sure. I think that
CJ
was who it
Abrams.
was. It C.J.
I
Abrams for
don't.
still?
No, I think we saw that other guy you're talking about.
Yeah, it was. It's Dubon, C.J. Abrams, and I think there's another guy. I think it's the third guy I'm not thinking of was the one we saw. But yeah, they're never going to see the light of day on that team. So
I honestly, I said CJ Abrams as a kind of a joke, but I mean, that kind of makes sense.
and they haven't
You
been
don't
doing
want to.
too well either. So
Yeah, but I mean, he's a young guy. I think he's like almost 19, 20 right now. I'm gonna look him up real fast, see his exact age. But he's 20 years old. He was born in 2000. I'm older than him. You're older than him.
mm-hmm.
Um,
It's just getting bad out
but
here. Just older
yeah,
than
I know it's
everybody
getting
now.
real bad when
This
I'm
is
getting bad
this is
talking about these
uncharted
guys.
territory.
Yeah, it's getting
Feeling like an
bad
old
starting to.
head at this point.
I feel like short back when he would try to talk to us about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But he right now CJ Abrams, he's hitting 299, um 2 home runs, 21 RBIs. I mean that realistically probably not going to happen because,
Yeah,
it's Alavila.
and
But that honest.
I don't think it's bad to consider something like that though, or like look for something like that because this point, I know that and if you can, well, I guess the drafts before, but I was gonna say if you can trade for somebody like that, then that decides who you're gonna take in the draft. But
Yeah.
also, I know we'll have a draft special, but then if Leiter falls to you and you take him
Yeah.
over those shortstops and what, which they should do,
Hmm.
but then you can trade for a shortstop like that. But if they don't, then I see them taking a shortstop there because it's kind of evident at this point that they're not going to get a big free agent shortstop.
And
It's just writing on the wall. So
and
I'm
that's
thinking that they'll try to trade for somebody like that. So I'm going to start looking at the young free agent or the young shortstop market.
yeah. And that's what I was gonna probably hint to again with the Padres. I don't know why I'm gravitating toward them right now, but they have a couple good pitching prospects, and if they don't want to go Liner or obvious or Kumar Rocker, if they don't want to go any of those guys in that first round, and you want to go shortstop, maybe you trade for a pitching prospect with scope.
Yeah,
Keep
they have a
another young
few.
guy in your system.
They're only really focused on Gore and they liked Anderson Morajon, but I think he's the one that might have gotten Tommy John or some other surgery. He was up with them last year in the playoffs. He didn't look too great though. But yeah, there's a few of them.
But I mean, definitely, uh, yeah, like you said, we're gonna. When is that draft coming up?
It's usually
It's
like
soon, isn't it?
it's usually like the first or second week of July.
I think they switched it around though because of COVID and everything. I think they. I don't know.
Yeah, they
It.
might have.
Let me look it up here real
I was
fast
about to
because
say
I
the same
think
thing.
MLB.
Honestly, I thought it was June 1st, but I don't think it is.
It is June. Wait,
Oh no, because the combines are like the little their things coming up for it.
it's starts my birthday, July 11th.
Oh yeah,
July 11th towards 13th to the
so it's the
13th.
second. Yeah, it's
So
the second week. So
second week of July. Yeah, so we'll have one probably that Friday then.
mm-hmm.
Right before. So but yeah, I mean, like we were saying, there's a lot of young guys that we could go. I do think that we target a shortstop with that Jonathan Scope trade. If he
Mm-hmm.
gets traded, if he evidently gets traded, same thing with like but I think never mind. I was gonna say no, Nomar Mazara, but I think he just gets DFA'd at this
Oh yeah,
point.
yeah. I mean, it's not even like just the Padres. I don't think the Phillies really have anybody to offer at that position. It's just gonna be it's somebody like that. I think the top two are the Phillies or Padres that he goes to. I mean, I kind of just want him to go to the Padres because I know he'd fit in there and he'd help
And
them.
you already
So
watched them, so it's like,
yeah, it
yeah.
would help.
So it's kind of
I just know like how he would fit in from watching him. I just think I don't think Kim's all that great, even though he is a rookie. He's the guy that came over from the KBO. So and then you can
love
just
the KBO shout out.
yeah, you can just interchange him with Cronenworth at second base, or him and Hosmer at first base. So that's just
Yeah,
going to be the issue with not having the DH. You have so many guys, but that makes their bench so deep because you see what
yeah, that's
Cronenworth's
what I was
doing
gonna
right
say.
now. So it's kind of
That's what
hard.
helps. That's what helps. Scope kind of that he can play first, and
Mhm.
I mean, but then you think of it, you got Hosmer at first, Scope at first, Cronenworth can
Yeah.
play first. Like you got a lot of guys there that can play first, and what's his face in the outfield? I didn't even think Hosmer. And what's the other one? There, I swear, there's another one that can play first. That plays the out. Oh, Will Myers, is he still there?
Yeah, but he just mostly plays the outfield because
But, he,
like
but again,
last year it was Hosmer, Cronenworth, and Mitch Moreland. So like
oh, I
he's
forgot
mostly
about.
just
Oh,
outfield.
jeez, they were deep. Oh my,
Yeah,
how are they always so deep?
they had everybody last year. They were so crowded at first base.
Where'd they come into all this money? They just randomly, the Padres just randomly developed
They've
like a bank
they
account.
they found a gold mine and some oil rigs.
But yeah, Tiger. Not another bright spot I want to talk about on the Tigers because I think you've said it on a video.
I
Daz
probably
Cameron,
have.
he's really starting to heat up,
Oh,
and
yeah,
yeah, you publicly have came out and have apologized in a sort.
a little
But
bit.
Daz Cameron really starting to hit good. Just starting to all around become seem like an MLB player and like he can be on be on
I
the
mean,
opening
yeah,
day
at this
roster
point,
too.
but the only thing is, it looks so good because he's competing with Nomar Mazara right now.
But
Like
like,
that's kind of why it looks so much better. Not that he isn't doing okay, but it's just like when his competition is Nomar Mazara, it's kind of easy to pick Daz.
yeah, I do understand that, and uh, but I do. He deserves that spot, and I think he's gonna get it. I think if somehow he gets sent back down, there will be riots. But
Yeah,
uh,
and that's what I
I
was
think he
saying
gets
like
that spot.
last week or whatever. That when Derek Hill comes back, that should be the end of Mazara, but who knows?
Yeah, which I think it will be. I think it will be and then when Victor Reyes comes back, what's that situation?
He's just staying in
Because
Toledo, I'm
he
sure.
wasn't. You think he stays in
Yes.
Toledo over like a guy like Derek Hill?
Yeah, because there's not really a point, and they already had sent him down there as it was. So
Okay. So, but that's about all Tigers talk there. Now, I did mention to you what we were going to talk about next, but I kind of pivoted here, and I have some
mm.
questions for you.
Oh, not
Some
this,
NBA questions.
not this.
No, I don't think you know this.
Okay. Well,
Unless you
I
saw
know
the
you.
same exact.
No, okay, then no. But I just know you'd mentioned before, like doing a trivia for me to expose some things. So
Oh, no. This is just straight up like kind of. This isn't trivia. I would hit you with the trivia, but
I would
I'm not gonna hit
decline.
you. I would give you time to prepare for that, but no, I'm gonna hit you with some NBA questions here, and then we can talk a little bit. All right. Would you rather
Hmm.
NBA here be a two-time MVP with no rings, or be a three-time champ as a bench player? Giannis? Would you rather be Giannis or Danny Green?
I mean, you could play a pivotal role off the bench, but also like an MVP is like highlighting your career.
Exactly.
And a two-time MVP, no rings, can get you into the Hall of Fame.
It can't.
But if
No,
people,
no. Hey, a no ring career got that man on your chest in a Hall of Fame career.
yes, you're right. But so I would say if you're like Will and you're known as like a six man, I would take the three rings then. But if you're like a guy that doesn't play and you have the three rings, then no, of course not. If you're Patrick McCall, no.
Okay.
But
So you're going with the you're going with the two MVPs over ring, or two MVPs no ring over
no, I'm
three
going with the I'm
rings.
going with the bench. If like I said, if you're known,
Oh, you're going with
if
the
you
bench.
if
Okay,
people know
okay,
who
okay.
you are and you're not Patrick McCall that doesn't play.
Here's next one, and I'm gonna modify this one a little bit. Would you rather have to sit your star player at least 15 minutes each game during the playoffs,
Hmm.
or have to play your worst player at least 15 minutes during the playoffs? And for reference, KD, Jared Dudley. So like
Well,
your last bench guy to like your best player.
well, or at least early on. Um, I would probably say playing the best or playing the worst player because at least you have the best player out there. Because early on, just taking the Suns for example, Saric got some minutes.
But he's not the worst player.
He's arguably the worst though. So I
Oh
would
yeah.
say if a guy like Dario Saric can play minutes in the playoffs, then almost anybody can. As long as the star player is out there, that's what the star player is to
Yeah.
take over. And plus, we saw LeBron. A lot of his Cavs teams were guys that would have been the last player on the bench for a lot of teams, and
Yeah.
so they were able to have some playoff uh, moments. So
All right. And then so you're going with worst player here.
yeah.
Worst player for 15 minutes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one I have here, would you rather have the best GM in the league but the worst coach, or have the best coach in the league but the worst GM?
Hmm.
So would you rather have a let's change. So that's kind of like what the Tigers are in right now. They have one of the better managers in the league, but
Mm-hmm.
have arguably one of the worst general managers in the entire game of baseball. But obviously, let's think of basketball wise here. Would you rather have a coach that can coach 15 guys, but they may not be a competent 15 guys, or would you rather have
Would
a
you would you rather have Stan Van Gundy or James Jones?
yeah,
Um.
or like a boy, I can't even say that. I was gonna say like a David Blatt, David Griffin situation, but they were both horrible. So and it was just
Yeah.
LeBron carrying that team. So
Yeah. I'd say probably the best coach because at least the coach can develop guys if you can't get anybody in there. So the coach would play a pivotal role because he's at least with them day to day and out there on the floor calling the plays and lineups and such. So
yeah, I'm going the GM, the best GM because you've seen guys that are the best player on the team just become the coach no matter what.
yeah, you could do that because I was gonna say like it's the Warriors. Like
Yeah.
they had good teams
Oh,
and Steve Kerr just sat there the entire time. So
oh god, I knew that was coming. Okay, and so yeah, let's just obviously we finish up here talking Suns matchup here. Right now it's a 3-point game. Clippers are up 56-53. We'll end it off here as soon as we finish watching the game. But I mean, how do you feel? It's game 3. Chris Paul's first game back, or first not first, or well, first game back, yes, but one of his first games back against the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. I think I said this on Wednesday, but a place he can never take them. So like I mean, I don't know how well he's doing right now.
I
He
think it's a
was
good
kind of on a
storyline. He's still a little bit slow. I mean, he's getting his assists and stuff. I
yeah,
think
he's
he might
2
be.
and 11 right now.
I think he might be saving some of his scoring actually, and letting the other guys kind of keep him in it, and then
Yeah.
he'll have one of those signature Chris Paul late third quarter, early fourth quarter performances that we've
Okay.
seen a lot, especially this playoff run. So I'm thinking that, but also it's like Booker's kind of slow, which is really it's the role players that are actually doing it. I mean, besides
Yeah.
Ayton, but I mean, yeah, because Ayton you would say is probably the third best star, and I'd say Mikel's arguably in there too, but I guess you would have to consider him a role player at that point. So it's like
Uh,
Campaign and Bridges and Cam Johnson and friends kind of keeping him in it.
and kind of to pivot off that to mainly what I wanted to talk about, but hey, we're not gonna go in as deep. Give me your top 5 players this
Oh
postseason.
yeah, okay.
But
I remember you saying that.
I was gonna have you give me your top 10 players after this postseason, but I want you to give me
Hmm.
your top 5 players this postseason, like the top 5 players that have performed this postseason.
Okay.
Give me guys that were eliminated, guys that are still in it, and it doesn't have to even be in order.
I'm just trying to think of a point guard other than Chris Paul, really.
Oh, you're just trying to. Well, I'll tell you mine real fast here.
Uh huh. Go ahead.
Again, in no order here. KD.
I was gonna kind of make like a lineup. You're just saying straight up players.
Okay, mine can kind of be a lineup then. Okay, so Trey Young. Um, at my 2 guard, I'm actually gonna go Paul George. No, Devin Booker. Devin Booker at 2. Paul George at 3. KD at 4, and then Yordan Alvarez hit a grand slam. Um, and then
Ding. Oh,
um,
Campaign's not returning either. But anyway.
and then probably I'm gonna have to go I don't know who I'd have at 5 because there hasn't really been a standout center.
I mean, kind of. That was the first position I actually thought of, to be honest with you.
I mean, I know who you're referencing, but
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I'll go Aiton. I'll go
There you
Aiton.
go.
It was between Aiton and Giannis because Giannis has been performing good, but it's been between him and Middleton both
Mm.
going off. So I'll go. So I'll go Trey Young, Booker, Paul George, KD, Aiton. I'm probably leaving somebody out there that did amazing, but
Mm-hmm.
that's my starting 5 there.
Okay, I would say
I would like my sixth guy will be Giannis and Middleton like split. So
I would say Trey, Book,
yeah.
um, keeping Katie at the small forward.
Oh, okay. So we're going a different power forward here.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think of who really. Uh, I honestly don't know.
That's why I moved Katie. That's why Paul. You can't
I
deny
guess you
Paul
would have
George.
to you would have to say Giannis, I guess, then.
I mean, yeah, you can say Giannis there. So
And then
and then
Aiton.
Aiton at your 5,
Yeah.
and then do you have like a 6th guy that you would if like you didn't if one of those other guys weren't there? Do you have a 6th guy that you would add on there?
Yes. Of course I do.
Chris Paul.
I thought about it, but a guy that's filled in the absence. I don't know if I was gonna say Campaign, but that's kind of like a troll just because he's done good recently. I'm taking Mikal Bridges on any lineup I'm taking, so
Oh, okay.
he's my
Well,
sixth
that's fair
man.
enough. So those are your top players at each position in somewhat your eyes
About about
during this
yeah.
playoff run. Okay. So most of your guys are still in, or no, except Katie. I think we
Mm-hmm.
other than Katie, I think all of our players are still in that we pick there. So
Which kind
I
of
mean,
makes
those are fair
sense.
lineups. I
They're
think those
they're
are the best.
they're the best because their teams made it that far. Kind of makes
Yeah,
sense.
and then Katie, just because Katie went insane and had
Yeah.
probably one of the greatest runs and postseason history point scoring wise. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's all. And you know what? Usually I ask you if you have something to say, but I have
Oh,
something
you
to
have something
say.
else. Okay, good.
I have something to finish it off. Probably because we usually don't end up doing a video Monday. So next, I'm just anticipating it.
Yeah.
So probably by the next time we record, we'll have been either done or doing another podcast
Mm-hmm.
with the whole binds with Ball League. I don't. Sometimes it comes out Wednesday mornings. Sometimes it comes out Wednesday nights. So it might come out correlating with our video, or it might come out
Yeah, or we just
later
might
on
steal
that
it
night.
straight up. Either way.
Yeah. So we'll probably depending on what if we when it's recorded, we might have a video come out Wednesday. But if not, it'll be that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's all I have to say. Did you have anything else to say, Mort?
No, I think you did
No.
it perfectly.
All right. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So if you guys could like and subscribe, that would help out a lot. And we'll see you guys next time.